Hey guys, and yes, I'm playing Sims 4. Holy cow. Um, I don't know if I'm ever going to actually play this family on, I don't know if I'm going to ever play this on the channel, depending on how well it runs, because this is a lot of CC in my game. I mean, as you can tell, she's like decked out. I cannot handle the Maxis match hills that they have, and I just think these are perfect for her. Like, realistically, I cannot wear heels. For one, I'm a clumsy person, so, I will fall. But for my Sims that are rich and can afford these, yeah, they're getting them. This is Lori. Her original name is Lori Rosillo. Um, well, Lori Hart, my bad. She has been through a lot of heartbreaks and everything, and I did actually play with her a long time ago. If you go to a Instagram account called what was it? Swag the Sims. Yeah, Swag the Sims on Instagram. You can see her life and her kids' life and how she became Lori Rosillo. I haven't posted a lot on there lately, but it does show her backstory a lot more. But this is Lori. She grew up and was born in a rich family. Her father was never really around, and only when he was very kind of like strict with them. He would tell them, like, because she has a sister, a younger one. Her name is Mila, and would just be strict with them and tell them that they had to get straight A's and everything. Her mother was sweet and was a artist and was very creative and wanted her girls to constantly be, express themselves some way. Lori was living with her parents until she started going to college. That's when she met Shane. Um, she fell instantly in love with him. He was older than her, but she just fell head over heels in love with him. And they had an affair. He was married by soon to be her best friend, Gia. She didn't know at the time they were together, and when she did, she was going to call it off. Not only that, Shane actually befriended her father, and those two were just hanging all the time. She just didn't want that, so she thought it was all weird. So she was gonna call it off until she found out she was pregnant. She was like, "Oh crap!" So she became pregnant with Shane's kid, and she didn't want her parents to find out because she thought that her father would kick her out. And she ended up giving birth, hiding the pregnancy, just saying that she was eating a lot or whatever, and hid the baby in the closet. And like, she didn't just store the baby in there either. She actually like took care of it and loved being a mother. She ended up leaving the door of the closet unlocked one day, and her sister Mila found it. And Mila, we'll get into her and everything, but Mila found the baby and knew that this would just ruin Lori. And see, Mila and Lori never really got along because Lori was like the perfect good child. Mila was just the bad influenced kid. Like, she always got bad grades. She could never actually achieve her father's liking at all. But Lori was the perfect child, the golden child. And Mila knew that once she did this, Lori would no longer be the perfect child. And so she told her father, and her father um, gave Lori an ultimatum saying, "You either put the baby up for adoption or you get the hell out of my house." Because he wasn't going to raise a kid that he didn't care about. Because in his eyes, he didn't see it as an actual, like, that's his grandkid. He's just a cool guy. And if you're wondering where the mom is, she's actually really sick during this whole thing and doesn't know any of this is going on. She has no idea. Um, Lori runs away, taking the baby with her, and moves like a long, long way from home. That's when she starts her new life. She's always wanted to be in fashion because her mom was an artist, and she saw that her mom was creative with a lot of things, and her mom helped her with, drawing dresses and such. And Lori just wanted to do that. That's what Lori wanted to do. So she got a job as a maid in a fashion career. That's when her life from then kept going up, but had some lows here and there. Her daughter at the time was growing up, was 3, because it took like 3 years to actually achieve not her dream job, but she was getting there. And that's when she met Jeremy, which was her babysitter. She fell head over heels with him, and they were gonna, you know, they want to get married, but Lori's still not trusting people and not recovering from the, whole thing with her dad and Shane and just everything. She didn't trust him fully. She wasn't ready to commit just yet. But Jeremy wanted a family. He wanted a wife. He wanted this. He wanted a big family. Well, after those two had 3 kids together, Kaylee, which is the second kid of Lori, then Felix, and then Sierra. After Sierra was born is whenever Lori realized she was living this lie. She didn't want to live a perfect family. She didn't want to pick a fence. She wanted more of life. She didn't want any of that. That's not who she was. And Jeremy wanted that, but she didn't. So she tried to tell him, nicest way possible, that's not what she wanted. She wanted to move to the city and try to achieve her career there. Maybe it'd be better. Jeremy didn't like that, and so forth, broke up. So she left with all the kids and went to the city. Of course, they both have shared custody of them at this time. That's when Lori, after moving into an apartment, met Pablo, which they started dating, and she didn't really like him or love him as much. She just, in her own sneaky way, this was the only time she actually was sneaky, was using him for his popularity, and she regrets it after it, but he was a little bit younger. He was like a basketball player, and, she was using it. And he was in love with her. They had about 3 kids together because they had Alejandro. I may pronounce that wrong. I'm trying my best. And then Johanna and Anna, which were twins. After Anna was born and the twins grew up, Lori became better in her career. She actually was in the highest. She became her dream and was doing a lot. But she was kind of missing something. I mean, this girl's missing like everything. She was missing a love. And she knew that the love that she had, the only second one that she actually had was true, was Jeremy. So her stupid self goes over there, and because now he's moving into the city because he started living there. By the way, he has his own wife now, and there are 3 kids. Well, 2 kids, and soon to be the third because she's pregnant. But we'll get on to that when he's there, or when we get to him. But she goes over there, and he tricks her into actually saying that, yeah, I'm gonna leave my wife, and yeah, I'll get back with you. Well, Lori, being naive as she is at this time, was just, okay, I'll go. And they sleep together. And then she ends up getting pregnant again by him and having their last child together, Isabella. And as she was pregnant with Isabella, she realized that his wife was also pregnant, and when she met her, she saw how nice the woman was. She had no idea that Jeremy was going to leave her. She had no idea and was kind of sad that, scared that he was going to leave. And the girl was just scared and stuff. And Lori realized that Jeremy was never going to leave his wife. And she had just done the most dumbest thing she's ever possibly done. And actually realizing how much she screwed up, she finally just said, screw it, I'm going to tell Pablo the truth. And when she did, he was furious, of course, but she knew this is what would happen, and she took responsibility for her actions. So there was a big custody fight over their 3 kids that they were fighting over. He won. She was only allowed to see them once in a while because he just had more money than her. She didn't have that much money, and she didn't have a good case. And she honestly felt bad if she would have taken them away. Pablo was not a bad guy, by the way. He's actually really nice. He was just heartbroken. And then so she, with the little money she had left over, moved to her own house. Hey guys, it's GeekyCryBaby here. How are you doing? My other video was talking about Lori, so I'm going to pick up where I left off. Okay, so Lori just got her new house and she was kind of doing her job again. Still being a fashion designer, still doing, her. Well, with all the big kids, or the kids now bigger and in teenager years, she didn't have to worry about that. She had to worry about Isabella. But bigger kids, Ryan was already, that's the oldest by the way, was already moving out and getting her own, doing her own thing. Kaylee and Felix and Sierra were teenagers and still kind of young, and so she still had to take care of them, same as Isabella. Well, then Pablo had called her. By the way, this is years later, so this is when Isabella's probably like 4 or 5. And Pablo calls up Lori and tells her that she can come see the kids, the 3 kids, finally. And so she goes sees Alejandro, Johanna, and Anna. And she's so happy and everything. He tells her that they can have joint custody, that she could see them even more. Because he's finally forgiven her, because he's now himself found an actual wife that he can trust and everything. So he knew that, Lori fucked up, but she's not that bad of a person. And the kids need a mom. So he let her have this. Well, now with 3 additional kids, she is kind of, there's a lot. So she needs a babysitter. So she kind of hires Caleb, which is this guy. If you'll click it. Caleb Brazillo. And yes, they are married. But before they got married, Caleb was the babysitter. Yes, I guess she has a thing for babysitters. But Caleb kind of saw Lori as a kind of like a lost person inside, and he felt pity for her and kind of told her that, if she just allows him to live there, she doesn't have to pay him or anything. He'll get another job as well and still watch after the little ones. She agrees, and he constantly pursues her and wants to love her, but she's like, no, because she's done with love. This is what she says to him. She's done. Well, finally, after months and months and months and months of him trying to show her that she's worth it, she's worth everything, she finally gives in for one date. And eventually that one date turns into multiple dates, and then turns into them dating, and then, so on and so forth. They get married, and this is the only time Lori actually felt like she was ready for marriage. She knew Caleb was a good guy. He wasn't bad. All of her kids loved him, and he came from a big, loving family as well. He and her ended up having a kid, and this is her final kid because this was an accident, honestly, named Luca, and he was the last child of Lori. And after that, she was done. She got her tubes tied, everything. And they both were just done with kids. Even though this is his only kid, he still counted her kids as his. And so she has a great big family. That is them two and their love story and how they ended up together and everything. So, I hope you enjoy. Sorry this video is short. This is just a follow-up video of the other one. I'm going to try to put these 2 videos together. Don't really know if I can, but if I can, there you go. If not, I'm sorry. There's 2 videos of the same person. Sorry. I'm GeekyCryBaby. Have a nice day, guys.